All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we are the Israelites. All right, this is the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem,
Yahweh
Yahushai,
Shai,
Ba'Shem,
Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim that pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, now we're back out another weekday camp. All right, and we're here to prophesy the destruction of America. All right, which is Babylon in the scriptures. Okay, and we're also here to wake up you Israelites. All right, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, you are the chosen people of the Most High God. All right, and His name is not the Father and Sons. Their names are not God and Jesus. Okay, the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son is Yahweh, and His Son Yahweh Shai. All right, so we say Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, meaning Yahweh the Father, in the name Yahweh Shai, which is the Messiah, Hamashiach. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into. We'll go ahead and just go straight into prophecy. All right, you got anything you want to bring up, brothers? Yeah, just
Yeah, you speaking about going against Babylon. This is Isaiah 14. After I started verse 21, Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Yeah, prepare slaughter for his children. All right, now this is talking about, because you have a lot of so-called white people, their favorite line when you bring up the fact that they have to pay back or be paid back for their atrocities, namely slavery. All right, they love to say, well, that wasn't us. That wasn't that was our great-great-grandfather, that wasn't us. But it says prepare slaughter for his children. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If you have a grandfather, a father, and a son go get dinner at a nice fancy restaurant, right? And they run the tab up, drink, back to back drinks, get the most expensive things on the menu. All right, so the son, all right, he looks to his right, his father dipped out. He looks to his left, his grandfather dipped out. So who has to pay the tab? So this is talking about prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, meaning your forefathers. Okay, so even if you try to say, oh, well, that wasn't us, well, you still, regardless of if you were reincarnated or not, you still got to pay for what your people have done. All right, because you so-called white people have done nothing but wickedness on the planet Earth. All right, if you ask anyone what good has a so-called white man done on the planet Earth, you can't answer it because they haven't done anything good. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord.
Let's read it again, Baba Shah.
Isaiah 14:22. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.
Right. Hey, so that judgment is gonna come upon Esau, man. All right, and that's what we're waiting on, man. We're waiting on the Lord to basically bring down this devil. All right, bring down the system. All right, because this system has just been going on for too long. Okay. All right, the wickedness has basically it's at an all-time high.
Reached up to the heavens.
Beautiful. Yeah, the water.
Just a little bit more.
Keep going.
Last verse. Isaiah 14:23. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. And I have that word besom in the blue letter too. going into the Hebrew, because the scriptures say, I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah of hosts. And that word for besom is H4292, and it's matata, and it says broom or besom, and it says it's a derivative of another word, but it says a broom as removing dirt. So it's gonna be swept. It's gonna be swept, man. This land, Babylon the Great, is gonna be swept. That's what it's going to in that word besom, and we know it's gonna be swept clean when it's destroyed by those thermonuclear missiles, man.
Yep.
That was the point.
It's gonna be totally swept, man. And the scriptures, the prophecy says it's gonna be laid desolate. Get Jeremiah 51. All right, because it's gonna be laid. It's gonna be laid. It's gonna be empty, man. It's gonna be laid waste. All right. Bring out that Isaiah 63.
You said Isaiah.
And then we'll go to that Jeremiah 51 after.
I'm there.
Isaiah chapter 63. Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 1. Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?
Yeah.
This
Go ahead.
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Yeah. So So this is talking about Yahweh Shai, all right, which basically the dyed garments. The dyed garments basically go into the blood that's going to be spilled on Edom. It says, who is this that has dyed garments from Basra? All right, meaning Yahweh Shai's garments are literally going to be red. You know, the color red from all the blood that's going to be shed. All right, from Esau, Edom. Yep. You know, is it more? Keep going. Oh, that was it. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Yeah.
Verse 2. Therefore art thy red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me.
Right. Yeah, because when it says his garments look like he has trodden in the wine fat, when you look at how to make wine, you're basically stepping on the grapes. So your garments are, resemble basically blood. Your garments are real. You got that wine juice all over them. So that's what that's talking about. But it's what it's saying is it's a simile, okay? Because it's saying like the meaning is that Yahweh Shai is gonna spill literal blood.
That's right.
Okay, but it's likened unto treading wine fat. Go ahead.
Like a metaphor.
Metaphor, yeah.
This is Isaiah 63 and verse 3 again. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury.
Yeah, so Yahweh Shai is probably literally gonna be stepping on Edomites' heads, like just like how you would in a wine press, man. Just stumping on them, man, just like grapes, Go ahead.
It says, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiments like it.
Yeah, so like you watch these crazy or you watch these killers, especially someone that is a suspect of stabbing someone. Man, they apparel, garments be totally bloody, man. From stabbing someone up. Because this thing is gonna get real, man.
Yeah.
This thing is gonna get real physical, man.
That's right.
Real graphic, real gory, man. That's what's getting ready to go down, and that's why the scripture is this is not just some sweet book. You know, like you Christians make it out to be. You Christians, you read this Bible, and you only pick out, you know, the salvation and
right,
you know the stuff that make you that give you butterflies inside. But this is the realness of the scriptures, man.
Yep.
The rawness of the scriptures. You know. You know that blood will be spilled. Get Matthew 24 and 24. Go ahead. Con. Keep going, yeah, keep going. And then
Verse
bring
4.
out-
For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me.
Right, yeah, so that fury, man, you know, that fury, because the Lord is totally angry, man, you know. Bring out what you got out now.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So, you know, the so-called white man, you know, for example, slaughtered hundreds of millions of Native Americans. He brought the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians over here on cargo slave ships. Basically put the whole 12 tribes in slavery. He raped, robbed, and murdered them, and that's the way he's gonna go out. Because this place has to be cleansed. It's gonna be cleansed through thermonuclear destruction, but there's other methods of this place gonna be cleansed. You know?
Right. Hey, yeah, so that's the, read it one more time, Babu Shah.
This is Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defileth the land, and the blood cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Yeah, but by the blood of him that shed it. So basically, you know, that really America, okay, it can't be cleansed until the person who has shed blood has their blood shed. Get Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because basically it's you have unjust doings, man.
Yeah.
It's not really complete until Esau is paid back for what they did. You know?
Yeah, it wouldn't be judgment.
It's not judgment.
Yeah, you have to have the judge. You have to have the consequence for whatever your actions are. That's where judgment comes in. But that's where the Christians don't understand the concept of judgment.
Yeah. Yep.
If I can add as well, and that's the real reparations, man. Not you know, you got these jakes now setting up these different movements of trying to get reparations, basically trying to get a piece of the pie from Esau. I mean, we don't want no damn money, man.
Yeah.
All right, want your ass put to death.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because you know, some damn money. Let's say we get money. First of all, whose face is on the money?
Exactly.
Second of all, a nigga is gonna take that money and go right back it's gonna go right back into the hands of the so-called white man, or they're just gonna waste it on fucking drugs, man.
Yeah.
You know, just gonna waste it on dope. So to hell with you niggas getting reparations, man.
Right.
You know, which Esau ain't gonna give it to y'all. The fact that a nigga thinks he's gonna get reparations, you're simple as hell. You know, to think that the so-called white man is gonna give you reparations. But like the brother said, there's no way that you can what's that that Botham Jean. You know, I can't remember. I guess it was his uncle speaking or whatever. But basically, he was in the right spirit, because he was saying basically, you know, what is 10 years? The 10 years that she got sentenced. What is 10 years compared to someone's life that had to basically die? You know, what's 10 years comparable? How is that comparable? In other words, he's basically saying, look, she gotta die. You know,
In a nice way.
in order for things to be even, you know, if you want things to be all the way even, then the so-called white man has to pay for slavery, okay? The so-called white man has to pay for destroying the planet Earth, man.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and that's just the cold hard facts. Bring out what you got.
This is 2 Thessalonians
1:6.
1 and 6.
Uh-huh.
Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Yeah, so it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation, which recompense means to pay back. Re means back, and compensate means to pay. So recompense is just another word for payback. So it's a righteous thing, and with the Lord, to pay back those that trouble you, those that trouble us, because oftentimes the Lord would bring our enemies into our hands. You know, like for instance, the Philistines, okay, Edom, Moab, anybody that Israel went up against, as long as they obeyed the Lord with one consent, then the Lord will basically bring them into their hand.
That's right.
You know, the Lord will basically give payback, you know, for what they've done. You know, and now, you know, that our punishment for not hearkening unto the Lord is being lifted. So now this payback is getting ready to happen soon, man. Mm-hmm. You know, what's that? The great that song.
Big payback.
The
big payback.
Yeah, the big payback. Yeah. Who is that? James Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bad song, man.
Yeah.
The big payback. You know, and that's the spirit we in. We should be in that spirit of getting ready to get at Esau, man.
Right.
You know, like that video at the Popeyes, man. That Edomite dude was popping his shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Calling dudes niggas and
Get out of my way, nigga.
You know,
fuck
going on an angry rant. But guess what? Hey, we gotta be amped up and get ready to we gotta be amped up and
hold
brothers, make sure y'all pay y'all parking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get it.
Con. But you paid yours?
I walk
Okay.
from the train station.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
I got something for you too.
Con. I think who had something?
That was it on
Oh, that was it. Okay, yeah, go bring out what you got.
Yeah, because you spoke about pretty much the Lord delivering our enemies into our hands, and that's pretty much making us whole once we obey the voice of the Lord, man. This is Deuteronomy 30. I'm gonna start at verse 9. Deuteronomy 30 and 9. And the Lord thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiceth over thy fathers, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are written in this book of the law. And if thou turn unto the Lord thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul.
Yeah, hey, and that's really, Yahushua said that was the greatest commandment. Mm-hmm. You know, love the Lord with all your heart and soul. You know, hey, so that's the main thing that Israel needs to do. Hey, because ultimately we would have the Lord would have blessed us. We wouldn't have had to go through any type of curses or you know slavery or none of that, had Israel actually obeyed and not went a whoring after other gods. Mm-hmm. But ultimately everything is according to prophecy.
Yep.
So that's the reason why, you know, the Lord had Israel go off and took his name away. But ultimately, hypothetically speaking, if Israel never did that, we would have never had to experience you know, being without the Lord.
That's right.
Okay, not having the name of the Lord. All right. But guess what? Because you know, you had the majority going off, the Lord punished the whole of Israel, man. Mm-hmm. You know, like you know, because when you have the majority going off, like I always bring out, if 90% of the class is fucking bad as hell, you know, the best thing for a teacher to do is just punish the whole class.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, the good seeds, the ones that are good, you know, they're gonna stay in line. You know, but really it's a measure to basically get those that are bad as hell, to get them back on the right track.
That's right.
You know?
It's this saying in the world that one rotten apple spoiled the whole bunch.
Uh-huh.
Right? And that's just the same thing, man.
Oh, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump.
There you go. Yep.
Which that word leaven means, Tazom always brings out, it's moral deficiency. You know, so one bad seed, but that's why 2/3 of our people gotta go.
Yep.
Because, you know, we can't go into the kingdom of heaven. We as the elect in the 1/3, the hopefully elect in the 1/3. Let's say all of, you know, the elect gets delivered, but you have one badass nigga that gets delivered amongst. Then he's gonna infect the whole kingdom, man.
Yeah.
One badass nigga, cause he's gonna be like, hey, excuse me, hey, that's mine. I'm about to pay for it. That's mine.
So,
All right. But basically, if you got one badass nigga, you're not gonna be able to go into the kingdom of heaven, because the scriptures say, "How can two walk together lest they be agreed?"
That's right.
So how can we go into the kingdom of heaven, even with one? Like I said, let's say you know, you got the 144,000 and the great multitude, and one badass nigga. Like I said,
Yeah.
he gotta go. It can't happen.
That's right.
You know, because in the kingdom of righteousness, the new covenant, it said the Lord is gonna basically write the laws on our inward parts. You know, go ahead.
but even to add to your point, add to what the captain's speaking about, even you know, we had to go through this period. That's why even Jacob in Genesis 49 told his sons what would happen in the last days. So it was already written, because it was really already, you know, before it was actually scribed, it was already prescribed, because it was the divine plan of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So that when the captain's speaking about, you know what I'm saying, you can't have wicked people entering into the kingdom of heaven. You can't have it, because the scriptures say that it won't happen. So you know what I'm saying, like it's a fulfillment of the word, of the prophecy. I got a precept too.
Yeah, bring it up. Got some too.
This is 1 Corinthians 5. 1 Corinthians 6:9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High? Be not deceived. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
Yeah, so no one with these wicked characteristics are gonna inherit the kingdom of the Most High. You know, because the kingdom has to be all good. Like we said, a little leaveneth the whole lump.
That's right.
So if you have one bad seed, then he's gonna basically make a degenerate population, and then next thing you know, it's gonna grow and grow and grow. So the reason why the elect is being raised up under Yahweh Shai is to eradicate all wickedness, even amongst the heathen. If we just let the heathen serve their gods and let the heathen do what they want to do without being under subjection, then ultimately our kingdom wouldn't work.
It wouldn't be a kingdom.
It wouldn't be a kingdom. Hey, what does scripture say that? A kingdom divided against itself.
A house divided.
A house divided against itself. So in other words, everyone. Hey, so ultimately, everyone has to be on the same accord.
Yeah.
And that's the get Philippians 2:1, because basically everyone's got to be on the same page, man.
Yeah.
And but that's the beauty of the kingdom, is because you're not gonna have to go and tell someone, yo, that's wrong, or you're not gonna have to tell the Israelite, that's wrong, you don't need to do that, or you don't have to go, or you won't have a nigga trying to you know, commit adultery or rob someone. You won't have to watch your back, because everyone's gonna already be. And get Jeremiah 31:31 too. Bring out what you got. Was that it?
That was it.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good.
Yeah, so hey, in other words, we can't establish our kingdom until everything, all the wickedness, the wicked power structure is totally done away with. Okay, you know, because we can't, like I said, we can't establish rulership, and then you know, like, cause that's what these 2/3 niggas, that's their mindset. You know what? Let's create our own community.
Yeah.
You know, let's you know, Esau. That's what Jake's want. That's what ultimately what Jake wants to do. They wish they could basically, you know, get their own little land and create their own, you know, create their own economy, and just say, all right, you know, white people, you got your own little Edomites, you got your own plot of land. We're gonna be over here and kick it over here. But ultimately, that'll never work. So we can't allow the so-called white man to have or anything wicked to have any power or to exist, really to exist. We can't allow it to exist.
And that's why, if I can say, that's why brothers harp on the ruling class mentality. Because even like the cat was speaking about how Jake in this society want to have their own little plot within his kingdom, they don't see it as a kingdom. They think they still have autonomy and they can do their own thing. That's really Satanism. Do as thou wilt. But we understand that really the Most High really, you know, in purity operates on kingdoms, where it's not like they have a government set up now in the American government where you feel like you have a choice. You can vote Democrat, Republican, whatever, independent. But really, spiritually, it's still a kingdom. But our people can't see that. We can see that because we embrace the challenge of having a ruling class mentality.
That's right.
That's right. Our people been living in America too long because they don't, like the brother was saying, they don't understand ruling class. They don't understand that these different kingdoms had slaves, man. We've been the slaves in the majority of these kingdoms, man. Now it's our turn. They don't understand righteous payback as we went into. You know, they've been here so long that they trust in the voting system. You know, just yesterday, you had a bunch of runoffs. You got Donald Trump coming down here tomorrow. So our people are caught up in this whole voting thing, not knowing the scriptures and not knowing we're going to be ruling over these heathens with a rod of iron.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because we don't want any type of memorabilia of America. In other words, we're not gonna take America and remodel it and try to structure, well, really any country in the world, even Israel. That's why Israel gotta be burnt up. So we're not gonna go to Israel and just take it and renovate it and say, all right, this is our kingdom now. Nah, we gotta totally destroy it, and cleanse it, and that goes back to the blood. Okay. That's one reason why we can't try to reestablish America or reestablish Israel, is because that blood, in order for us to transition our kingdom, in order for it to be complete, in order for the so-called cycle to be complete, then it says the blood of him that shed it, the one that shed blood, his blood has to be shed. Okay?
Yep.
And that's, like I said, that's completion. Like you watch a movie, and you like watch a certain movie and some of the plots is like, well, it can't be complete until this happens.
Yeah.
Well, we can't completely come into rulership until the so-called white man basically, has his blood spilled, man.
Yep.
Was that it on that schmuck? Okay. No,
I think
get that shit.
I think bro, go ahead. So.
Bring out what you got.
Yeah,
so.
just like just like the captain was expounding on, when kingdoms is precisely what we speaking on, specifying as the kingdom of heaven. When it's established, we're not going to take relics and different artifacts from America that they actually hold themselves onto and try to revert it into our kingdom. Our kingdom is going to be renewed, and it's going to be based upon the principles of the law in Israel. Nothing else. It's not going to be a mixture of Canaanites, deities, Mesopotamian or Middle Eastern, different deities of different gods, whether European or Greek gods. It's going to be all
based is centered around our culture and our existence. And when men of the Lord actually went into rulership, they did the same thing. This is 1 Kings 15:9. In the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Judah.
There we go. Oh, you about to get
that
that?
was good.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
gonna get
spirit,
that.
yeah.
And 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother name was Ma'akah, the daughter of Abishalom. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, as did David his father. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land, and he removed all the idols that his father had made. You got it?
Oh
And-
yeah. Well, it says they had to remove the idols first, you know,
And the Sodomites.
and the Sodomites.
Yeah.
Hey, they had to remove all that stuff because hey, you can't mingle something pure with something impure. Just like you know, if you have a bottle of water, you could take the smallest little piece of dirt and put it in the water. Now the whole water is dirty as hell, man. You got to basically throw the whole water out. Go ahead, you got to borrow something?
Contamination.
Yeah, beautiful, the water.
And also Ma'akah, his mother, even her, he removed from being queen because she had made an idol in a grove. And Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron. But the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asa, his heart was perfected with the Lord all his days. And he brought in the things which his father had dedicated and the things which he himself had dedicated into the house of the Lord, silver and gold and vessels.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, King Asa, he was one of the righteous kings that didn't go off.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, because especially when the Lord established a certain king, okay, I would say a righteous king, they always had to take over the land. That's the very reason why the Lord said, you know, to destroy all the men, to kill all the women and children. In some cases, you know, in some cases He might say leave them alive. But the reason why the Lord did that is so that, you know, basically you take over that whole possession, man. Because you don't ultimately possess something if you leave 5 men alive.
Right.
You know? And that's where King Saul went off. You know? Because King Saul basically you know, he left the king of Ammonites. I believe it was the Amalek. Huh? Amalek. Yeah, it was Amalek. He let the king Agag, the Amalekite, he left him alive, you know? And that's where he went off after the Lord already specifically told him to basically kill everything. Don't even take the spoil. And that's the same spirit we gotta be in with America, man.
That's right.
Leave, man, spoil this whole thing, man. Don't be trying to take you know, your favorite shoes on a chariot, man.
Jake in what was that? Book of Joshua. What's Jake's name?
Oh,
Achan the nigga. Yeah. You know, he took the Babylonian garment.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I think it was the 30 pieces of silver. You know, he got a little bit of cake. You know, he got the Babylonian garment, and he got killed. You had Israelites even in the book of Maccabees, when the Maccabees went to war. It was men that died in the midst of the battle, and they went through the men's garments or their regalia, and after they shook them down, they found all kind of idols in the dead men's pockets. And all the men that were righteous, that didn't depend on those idols, they survived, man. You know, so that shows you the level of dependence you have to have, whether you're dependent on the Most High or dependent on the system. And a lot of Jake's gonna die for depending on the system, man. You gotta totally absolve that mentality, man. Fuck this place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like the brother, there's all your tentacles should be attached towards the truth. You shouldn't have eggs in both baskets. You know, you shouldn't have a Babylonian security plan. Now you establish yourself, you do certain things to make sure that you're balanced here, but our heart is not for this place, man. Our heart is totally against here. That's why we stand on the front lines to prophesy against Babylon, Jeremiah 28:8. You guys
right.
Bring that out, bro. Yeah, hey, the brother was on point, man, because you know, hey, we can't try to mix. But that's why these other Israelite camps go off, man. It's because they're trying to mix that Babylonian spirit. Like, for instance, rap, we always bring that up. But they're trying to mix that worldly spirit with the truth, all right? Trying to mix something that's impure with the truth. That's why I never really liked gospel music. I always thought it was corny as hell because you're trying to mix something. Rap started, well, you know, the origins of rap was supposedly positive, but rap is foolishness, man.
Yeah.
So even like these gospel rap and all this stuff, like basically it's corny as hell because you're trying to mix something pure with an art form that's predominantly wicked as hell. Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness?
Yeah, so what fellowship does light have with darkness? And communion basically means camaraderie, fellowship. Yeah,
you know, communion.
So, hey, you know, we can't. That's why we can't get. That's why this is a exclusive thing, man.
Oh man,
you don't see us just, you know, out parlaying with you know, niggas in the world and you know just out fellowshipping with unbelievers. It said that, you know.
If I can add to the point too, hey, King Asa, and that goes back to the point the brother was making earlier, how you have to have a ruling class mentality. Now, King Asa had a ruling class mentality. He even got down removed his mama, you know, right along with the Sodomites. But the way these niggas think, you know, but everything gotta go, but my mama gotta stay. You know, that ain't no ruling class mentality, man. You can't be unequally yoked with nobody, okay?
No unbelievers.
No unbelievers. So King Asa got her ass out of there too, man. Right along with the idols, right along with the goddamn Sodomites.
And little living with the whole law.
And that's why, hold on one second. That's why Yahweh Shai said, who are my mother and who are my brother?
Right.
He said, those that do the will of the Heavenly Father are my mother, are my mother and my brother.
That's his
you
family.
know, so that's his family. So ultimately, even if your family doesn't get this, then really it's to hell with them, man.
Yeah.
You know, now of course you pray for them, you want them to be saved, but ultimately if they're just so if they're so gung-ho about you know not being okay with the truth, then it's like, well, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. The Lord chose you. You know, so we gotta be able to basically, you know, count out even our loved ones, like the brother said, like King Asa, man. You know, anyone that's not with this program or doesn't eventually get with the program, then it's gonna be too bad, because the Lord is gonna put a Terminator spirit on us. I was watching that movie Terminator. The Terminator is like a robot.
Yeah.
He doesn't have feelings.
Nope.
He's not thinking like, damn, hey, you know, this is so and so, man. A robot doesn't have any type of feelings. So the Lord is gonna unlock that spirit in us. The Lord is gonna unlock that spirit in us where we're programmed to basically kill on sight. Anything that ain't right, it's gotta go.
Yeah. It's going to bring to the point. I'm gonna skip one verse, get to the point. 2 Corinthians 6:16. And what agreement hath the temple of the Most High with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power, as the Most High have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people.
Right. Yeah. So the Lord wants Israel to deal with them exclusively, man. Not you know, oh, you know, y'all okay, you know, y'all can celebrate, y'all can worship the golden calf. You know, we just gonna serve the Lord over here. Or you know, y'all go do what y'all do, and we you know, we gonna establish our, no, man, because one has to be put out. One cannot righteousness cannot exist amongst wickedness. All right, it can't. It's just the truth, man. So that's why these Israelites that are in that mindset of trying to establish the kingdom here, their works are in vain, man.
It don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It don't add up.
It doesn't add up because you're trying to establish something that's right in the midst of just a bunch of offness, man.
Yeah, in the midst of a bunch of filth. This whole system was established on filth. It was established off really Satanism. You know, it was of left hand energy. So it don't make sense to establish kingdom here at this time. It don't make sense.
Yep. Tazabah, you got it.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? And the answer would be no, two can't walk together unless they be agreed, because as the brother is going into, we're walking with Yahweh Shai, and us being the sons of Yahweh Shai, the rulers to come, the people are gonna have to walk according to us, man. So it ain't gonna be us in the kingdom, let's come to a compromise. Let's find a diplomatic solution to this. It's either you just gonna get down and lay down in that day, man. So the scriptures ask you, can two walk together lest they be agreed? So what does light have to do with darkness, man? They can't mix. You got it up?
Right, yeah, because and you know, that's why we don't get together and do unity camps and stuff of that nature, because ultimately, let's say it's you and someone else, and one person, let's say this is is you and someone else, and it's martial law type situation, and one dude wants to go, your friend or whatever wants to go to a shelter and go get chipped, but you're like, nah, man, chip is the mark of the beast. So y'all can't walk together, because ultimately in his mind, he's like, well, the mark of the beast ain't the chip. Hey, but that's the importance of the mark of the beast being the chip, man.
Quick precept.
Bring it up.
1 Corinthians 14, I'm starting at verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
Yeah, so hey, even going back to that mark of the beast, because these guys like to say, oh, the mark of the beast, it is the chip, but it's more, or it's this, it's that, it's not the mark of the beast. Well, that's confusion.
Yep.
Because the Lord is going to make it straightforward. The scriptures say to make it plain upon tables, man. Make these scriptures plain upon tables. So in other words, it's the mark, okay, the charagma has to be a physical thing, okay? So like I said, going back to that whole can two walk together lest they be agreed, that's one reason why we can't get together with these other camps.
That's right.
Because at some point, the mark of the beast subject is going to come up.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, well, they're going to dance around the subject. And then we're going to be like, nah, the mark of the beast is the RFID microchip.
That's right.
So, and then what's going to happen is, eventually, once all hell breaks loose, when it actually really counts, then you're just going to have confusion. You're going to have one going this way, and you're going to go the other way, Get that, and then I'll step down on that.
This is Philippians chapter 2 and verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in a Mashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any vows and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord.
Yeah, like-minded.
Of one mind.
Yeah, like-minded, being of one mind. That's why this doctrine is so important, because we have to be rooted in this doctrine, and you can't come up and say, you can't come with a different breakdown. Otherwise, you're bringing leaven.
That's right.
You're bringing in leaven. You're bringing in moral deficiency. So, like we said, in order for us to move forward and progress into the kingdom, okay, we all have to be amongst the same cord, like-minded. What did it say? Like-minded. What else?
It says, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord and of one mind.
Yeah, being of one accord of one mind. Yep. Hey, so that's pretty much the point. So I'm gonna step down with that. Thawadi Yabashim Yashai for giving me the spirit to edify.
Con.
Who's stepping in? You know?
Anybody want to come and speak?
I know.
Well, yeah. It's you know, that's spirit.
Let's start off in Psalms